It's just us. I brought the Inquisitor.
Warden Loghain McTeer. I believe we have a common cause, Inquisitor.
There was a Loghain who joined the Wardens after he lost Ferelden's throne.
The traitor Terran. Yes. I've heard all the names.
Then that's you?
I've been a Warden for 10 years. They will never fully consider me theirs. Something I've had cause to be grateful for recently.
I'll take all the help I can get. I know the Wardens have troubles of their own. I wonder, though, might those troubles have anything to do with Corypheus?
I believe so. After Hawke killed Corypheus, Weishaupt was content to forget the whole affair. If an archdemon can survive seemingly mortal wounds, why not Corypheus? I began to investigate. I found evidence, but no proof. And then, soon after, every warden in Orlais began to hear the calling.
I recall that being a bad thing, but I don't recall you telling me about all this.
I didn't believe it concerned you.
You think Corypheus is using this calling to control the Grey Wardens?
Not directly, no. The calling warns a Grey Warden that his corruption will soon claim him, that he is dying.
And every Grey Warden in Orlais is hearing that right now. They think they're dying.
Yes. Thanks to Corypheus, I believe. If the Wardens fall, who will stop the next blight? That is what's panicked my brethren.
And then they do something desperate. Which is, of course, what Corypheus wants.
Is the calling they're hearing real? Or is Corypheus mimicking it somehow?
I don't know. Even as a senior Warden, I knew little about him. The Wardens believe it to be real, despite my warnings about Corypheus. And that is all that matters at the moment.
You said all the Wardens are hearing the calling. Does that include you?
Yes. It's like an itch at the back of my mind. At times, it's barely there at all. But then I find myself starting to hum it under my breath. It is vile. I can understand why so many Wardens have gone mad from fear of it.
How can Corypheus make all these Wardens hear the calling?
I don't know. It's likely part of his nature. Corypheus is, or was, once a mortal man. The Blight owns him, but it did not create him. Wardens are tied to the Blight through the Darkspawn. That is how Corypheus influences Warden minds. Somehow he is using that power to mimic the calling.
So the Wardens are making some last, desperate attack on the Darkspawn.
A Blight nearly destroyed Ferelden. A Blight without Wardens to stop it might well destroy the world. Warden Commander Clarel proposed a ritual involving blood magic. A desperate measure to prevent further blights. When I protested the plan, called it madness, they tried to arrest me. Grey Wardens are gathering here, in the Western Approach. It's an ancient Tevinter ritual tower. Meet me there, and we will find answers. If we wish to stop my fellow Wardens, we should get to their ritual tower in the Western Approach.
I heard something of what happened in Ferelden. How is it you weren't executed?
When your mistakes are public, everyone feels they have the right to a personal apology. In the final hours of the Blight, the Wardens were short-handed. They needed every soldier they could get. The rest of my life will be my penance.
How did you end up an enemy of the Wardens again?
When the calling began, I searched as much as anyone for an answer. I protested the rituals, but faced little resistance until I began to investigate the death of Corypheus. The Warden mages branded me a traitor and attacked. When I defended myself, Clarel ordered my death.
I'd like to know more about Warden Commander Clarel.
I've served under her since coming to Orlais. She seemed fair before, dedicated. Perhaps that was the problem. I, more than anyone, know the cost of too much dedication.
Do you think Clarel is acting of her own volition?
Calling does not control minds, and I doubt Clarel could fall to Corypheus without others noticing. Whatever mistakes she makes of her own accord. Hopefully, we will learn more in the Western approach.
Corypheus was imprisoned by the Wardens, right? So they must know who or what he is.
Secrets are a habit with the Wardens. One that costs many lives. Some knowledge is too dangerous to share. I knew little of Corypheus, and that was more than most. No one thought that knowledge could be vital.
You said that Clarel was Warden Commander. I thought that the hero Ferelden led the Wardens.
There's more than one Warden Commander. Each oversees a region, most often a single nation. The man you speak of was Warden Commander of Ferelden. He disappeared some time ago. It's possible he joined the rest of the Wardens, although I cannot say for certain.
So, that went well.
As you feared, the mages who completed the ritual are under the thrall of Corypheus.
And the Warden warriors? Oh, of course. It's not real blood magic until someone gets sacrificed.
Human sacrifice? Demon summoning? Who looks at this and thinks it's a good idea?
The fearful and the foolish.
Despite their lack of wisdom, they acted out of necessity.
All blood mages do. Everyone has a story they tell themselves to justify bad decisions. And it never matters. In the end, you are always alone with your actions.
In the direction Eramon fled, the only structure of note is an abandoned Warden fortress, Adamant. I suspect we'll find the Wardens there. I suppose it's fortunate a friend once gave me some old maps.
Good thinking.
The Warden and I will scout out Adamant and confirm that the other Wardens are there. We'll meet you back at Skyhold.
Hawk tell you, we tracked Eramon to Adamant Fortress. Idiots. So devoted to their cause that they abandoned all common sense.
How could the Wardens do this? What did the Warden Commander tell them?
Clarel said we were making the hard decisions necessary to fight future blights. Wardens do what is necessary to stop the Darkspawn. We're the only ones who truly can. It's a burden few can imagine. Although, with that mark on your hand, perhaps you can.
We make the sacrifices no one else will. Our warriors die proudly for a world that will never thank them.
And then he takes your mage's minds for his real master, Corypheus.
Corypheus? But he's dead.
Please! I have seen more than my share of blood magic. It is never worth the cost.
I betrayed the Wardens once and it cost me everything. Are you mad enough to think I'd do it again? One day you may be asked to give your lives to stop a blight, but not today. Is there a problem, Hawk?
I wondered if you might be concerned about the Grey Wardens holding the Divine in that vision. Their actions led to her death.
Corypheus had clearly taken the Warden's minds. You yourself have seen them do this. In any case, we can deal with that after we escape.
Oh, I intend to. What we do know is that the mortal Divine perished at the temple, thanks to the Grey Wardens.
Corypheus controlled them. We've discussed this already. This spirit has no further revelations. We should work on getting back to Adamant alive.
Assuming that the Wardens and their demon army didn't destroy the Inquisition while we were gone.
I see. Atrocities are your purview alone. You tore Kirkwall apart and started the Mage Rebellion.
To protect innocent mages, not madmen drunk on blood magic. But you'd ignore that, because you can't imagine a world without the Wardens, even if that's what we need.
Without the Nightmare, Corypheus loses both his Warden mages and his demon army. But in the eyes of your soldiers, their Inquisitor broke the spell with the power of the Maker.
They came out of this alive. As far as I'm concerned, they can tell whatever stories they like.
I suppose you're right.
Loghain, you're the senior surviving Grey Warden. What do we do now?
You stay and do whatever you can to help. Loghain believes that the Wardens are worth saving, and I trust him. You're still vulnerable to Corypheus, and possibly his Venatori, but there are plenty of demons that need killing.
While they do, I'll report to the Wardens at Weishaupt. Corypheus won't catch us off guard again.
Thank you, your worship. We will not fail you.
You have the makings of a great army, Inquisitor. Use it well. Fight well. You will not die while I draw breath.
For the Warden!
I guess the hero of River Dane's story finally came to an end. Loghain was the Ferelden ideal, you know, the common boy who freed his kingdom and became a Terran. He helped to end the Fifth Blight. The rest aside, that made him a hero. He wasn't the first good man to fall to Corypheus. He won't be the last. This story's no good for heroes.